There are a lot of leadership books I love to read. I'm trying to read more leadership books as it pertains to staff culture and helping lead your teams. But one book I constantly come back to is The Making of a Leader by Dr. J. Robert Clinton. And there's just chapter 5 is what I go to all the time. Now, here's what I've learned about leadership. A leader has to disappoint people at a rate they can handle. I don't remember who is attributed to that. It's definitely not me, but it's such a helpful phrase for me as I seek to lead folks to places where they figure out eventually they do want to go there. This is fun that this was in the frame. On page 94, it talks about the 8-stage leadership backlash cycle. And I've talked about this before. Maybe it was on my Instagram, but it's worth repeating again because I think about it all the time. It talks about the 8 stages of leadership backlash. And it always happens. If you're leading people well, you will get negative reactions, it says, from your followers or other leaders within your group, or even Christians outside of your group, to a course of action taken by the leader once ramifications develop from their decision. So the 8 steps, or the stages, of backlash, and it actually means you're leading. Number 1, the leader gets a vision or a direction from God, and so this is from the quiet place, and so this is so important for you to have those rhythms, those cadences where you're hearing it from the Lord. And number 2, the followers are convinced of the direction. Now, this doesn't mean everyone, but some key followers. I think this goes to the principle of wisdom and discernment, and it's like, okay, as a lead pastor, yes, it's my call often to lead the way in vision, but man, if every other person just doesn't see it at all, I have to, in humility, go, okay, what's wrong here? But it's a fine line because number 3, the group moves in the direction given, but here's number 4. Number 4, the group experiences persecution, hard times, or attacks from Satan. And so spiritual warfare is common here. So because of your leadership decision, now life is harder. We're persecuted from the outside, hard times from within. There's just this resistance, and it's no longer as fun as it used to be. And so now, number 5, there is backlash from the group. So they go to the leader and say, this was a poor decision. We should have never done this. Can we please go back? Example from Moses, we want to go back to Egypt. We miss the food there. Number 6, though, the leader is driven to God to seek affirmation in spite of the action's ramifications. So it's like, God, I feel like this is where, in humility, I thought this is where you called us to, but you're supposed to go to the quiet place. You're supposed to go to God in weakness, as Paul so beautifully illustrates in his letters to the Corinthians. But then I love number 7. Number 7, God reveals himself further, who he is, what he intends to do, and he makes it clear that he will deliver. And I love that actually God uses the backlash. It's like not a surprise from God. It is the very thing, as this book continues to talk about, that forms the character of the leader. It actually refines the vision at times, or it just produces a greater perseverance and faithfulness that's so required for a good, healthy ministry. And then number 8, God vindicates himself and the leader. So the thing happens, right? That vision actually comes to fruition. And I wish that these 8 stages happen in the span of 8 days or 8 weeks. And so that's the hard part, knowing, man, what stage am I at? How long will this backlash endure? And we can't be stubborn and hard-headed and just say, nope, this is what God told me, so we're going to do it. But at the same time, sometimes that's exactly what you have to do. But man, if you're a pastor, I'm rooting for you. Me and Pastor Caleb created a resource at pastorsrdirectors.com. We think your job is really hard. We want to come alongside of you, especially small to mid-sized churches, lead pastors, and kind of like maybe you just have a small staff. There's so many things that are put on your plate, and we want to help categorize those for you, give you some playbooks and pathways, because your job as a Sunday director, spiritual director, and staff director are so essential, but it's also so exhausting and often feels like, where am I going next? So we want to create that. We created that resource for you. Join the community if you'd like. Comment below kind of your experience of that. I do find other authors to be really helpful in this category. Authors like Todd Bolsinger, when he talks about the resilient leader, or what's that book called? I have it on Kindle, so I can't even look at my libraries right here, folks, but I can't even find it. Edward Friedman, Failure of Nerve, also talks about this. He actually talks about the difference between empathy and compassion. We must always have compassion to those who are experiencing the backlash and wanting to stop. But empathy, at least in today's terms, and I know this is opening a can of worms, but empathy The wrong version of it is where, okay, I'll stop. I'm going to wait until everyone agrees, until everybody feels better. That's not leadership. That's something else. Thank you for watching today's video. This is the video I think you should watch. This is the video YouTube says you should watch.